Yo, 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 welcome to episode 194 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom, and today I'm giving you all the Week 7 recap around the NFL. A lot of action, a lot of high-scoring games. The underdogs shine, so let's break it down. Thursday game, Jags beat the Saints 31-24. Trevor Lawrence, 204 passing, a touchdown, no interceptions, and 59 rushing yards. Travis Etienne with 2 rushing touchdowns. Christian Kirk, six catches, 90 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. As for Derek Carr, the Saints, 301 passing, a touchdown, and a pick. Alvin Kamara, 62 rushing yards, but he also had 12 catches for 91 yards. And Michael Thomas, he had a touchdown catch, his first of the year. So the Jaguars get the win on Thursday Night Football. They improved to 5-2, and now they have they've now won 4 straight games. And, it got dicey at times as the Jaguars had a fourth quarter lead of 24-9, diminished to 24-24 as it was a tie game with a few minutes left. But the Jaguars offense was able to persevere and march downfield for a game-winning touchdown. The Jaguars offense carved up a good Saints defense with 330 yards, and 113 of those yards came on the ground. The Jaguars O-line didn't allow a sack versus the Saints pass rush. The Jaguars defense, they did allow 400 or more yards, but they were able to get a sack and a pick six. And are the Jags a sleeper team in the NFL this year? I would think so. As for the Saints, their offense with 413 yards, they ran well for 112 yards. They were 4 for 6 on fourth down, but 3 of 18 on third down. Carr had a bad game, 33 for 55 passing, overthrown balls in that pick six that changed the game. And then the tight end, Foster Moreau, with 25 seconds left in the game, had the game-tying touchdown in his hands, but he dropped it. Just a brutal, brutal way to lose. And as for the Saints defense, they had a fumble, but it led to no points. They had no sacks, and they gave up 31 points. The Saints special teams was able to force a fumble on a punt return, and that only led to 3 points. So the Saints had 2 turnovers, but the offense could only get a field goal out of it. The Saints go to 3-4. The next game, we move on to the Sunday games. And it's the Falcons beating the Bucs 16-13. Desmond Ridder, 250 passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did have a rushing touchdown and 3 fumbles. Drake London, 6 catches for 54 yards. Baker Mayfield of the Bucs, 275 passing, a touchdown, 1 pick. And Mike Evans, 6 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. So the Falcons beat their divisional rival and get to 4-3. Despite the 3 fumbles inside of the Bucs 20-yard line by Desmond Ridder, he had a nice game-winning drive with 45 seconds left as Younghoe Koo does it again, and he hits the game-winning field goal. The offense had 406 total yards with 156 of them on the ground. The defense with 3 sacks, 1 pick, 1 fumble. They stopped the run and only allowed 13 points. The Bucs offense had 348 yards. But, they couldn't run the ball. They only had 73 rushing yards. And Baker Mayfield had a crucial pick late in the game inside of the Atlanta red zone. The Bucs defense had a sack, 3 fumbles, just only gave up 16 points, but they gave up 400-plus yards, and they couldn't stop the run. Bucs are now 3-3. The Bears beat the Raiders 30-12. The rookie Tyson Bagent, he had 162 passing yards, a touchdown, no pick in his first NFL start. Deontay Foreman, 89 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 1 receiving touchdown. Brian Hoyer gets the start for the injured Jimmy G. He threw 129, no touchdowns, 2 picks. The rookie Aiden O'Connell stepped in. He had 75 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And as for Jacoby Myers, 7 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. So the Bears moved to 2-5 as the rookie QB Tyson Bagent fills in for the injured Justin Fields. And in his first NFL start, he gets the win. He played great. He had a touchdown and no turnovers. The offense as a whole had no turnovers, and they had 335 yards with 173 of those yards on the ground. The defense had a game. They had a sack. They had 3 picks, 1 for 6. They stopped the run. They allowed under 250 yards and just 12 total points. And could Bagent take Fields' job if he keeps playing the way he does? I don't know. It's a little too early to say. We have a small sample size, but we'll see. As for the Raiders, their offense was atrocious, 243 yards with no run game, just 39 rushing yards. The veteran QB, Brian Hoyer, got the start for the injured Jimmy G. He's benched for the rookie QB, Aiden O'Connell, who I think should have started this game from the jump, and that's just my opinion. And the Raiders defense, 2 sacks, but they had no turnovers, and they couldn't stop the run game of the Bears as they dropped to 3-4. The next game, the Browns beat the Colts 39-38. Deshaun Watson, 5 yards passing, no touchdowns, and a pick, but he left in the first quarter with a shoulder injury. In comes P.J. Walker, 178 passing, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Jerome Ford had 74 rushing yards and a touchdown, and Kareem Hunt had 2 rushing touchdowns. As for Gardner Minshew, 305 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He also had 2 rushing scores, but 3 fumbles. And Jonathan Taylor had 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. The rookie receiver Josh Downs, 5 catches for 125 and a touchdown, and Michael Pittman Jr. with a touchdown catch. So the Browns win a close shootout to go 4-2. The first quarter was, this game was absolutely amazing. But the first quarter, the Browns are able to strike first blood with the Jerome Ford rushing touchdown, but the Colts respond with a huge touchdown by the rookie Josh Downs. The next Browns drive, Deshaun Watson is picked, which leads to a 14-7 lead for the Colts after Gardner Minshew gets his first rushing touchdown. Watson gets injured. The Browns punt. The next Colts offensive possession, Minshew fumbles the ball at his own 35-yard line after Myles Garrett gets a strip sack. The first quarter ends with the Colts in front 14-7 with the Browns on the move. Second quarter starts when Kareem Hunt ties the game with a touchdown, 14-14. The Colts would then attempt a 60-yard field goal, but it's blocked. The Browns are able to capitalize with a field goal of their own to take a 17-14 lead, but the Colts bounce back with a second rushing touchdown by Gardner Minshew, and they're up 21-17 with 4 minutes in the first half. The Browns would have to punt, but their defense makes a huge play when Myles Garrett causes Minshew's second fumble of the game in the end zone, which is recovered by the Browns for a touchdown. The Browns would lead 24-21 with 1:45 in the first half. The Colts go 3 and out. The Browns get a field goal from that and lead 27-21 at halftime. So in the third quarter, the Browns punt after P.J. Walker is sacked. The Browns get the ball back after their defense picks off Gardner Minshew. The interception gives another field goal to the Browns and gives them a 30-21 lead. The Colts are able to shake off the interception as Jonathan Taylor gets a touchdown on the next drive. Now they're just down 30-28. The Browns would have to punt on their next possession, and this ends the third quarter. So under the fourth quarter, the Colts start with a field goal and now jump out front 31-30. P.J. Walker would get picked on the Browns' next possession, but luckily their defense forces a punt. The Browns retake the lead with a field goal. They lead 33-31 with 6.5 minutes to go. The Colts answer with a huge touchdown to Michael Pittman, leading 38-33 with 5.5 minutes remaining. The next Browns possession, Walker is sacked. The Browns have to punt. The Colts punt on their next drive, however, and then Walker converts a huge third down play on the Browns' next drive. Couple questionable calls go to the Browns' favor, and that secures a Kareem Hunt go-ahead touchdown on 4th and goal, which is 19 seconds left. The 2-point conversion is unsuccessful, and the Browns lead 39-38. Colts get one more crack at it, but for the third time, Gardner Minshew fumbles. The game is over. And what a game. I expected low scoring, but I was most certainly wrong. The Browns offense, 333 yards. They struggled passing, but they ran for 150 yards and 3 total touchdowns. The Browns defense balled out. They had 4 sacks, 1 pick, 3 fumbles. 1 was a fumble 6. Myles Garrett dominated with 2 sacks and 2 of those fumbles. Is he the defensive player of the year? He's making a good case right now. As for the Colts, they made it a game, but unfortunately 4 turnovers and penalties late in the game hurt their chances. They had 473 yards of offense, but 4 turnovers was their downfall. The run game exploded for 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. The defense, 2 sacks, 2 picks, but they committed tough penalties down the stretch of this game, which led to the Browns win. They are now 3-4. Next, the Giants beat the Commanders 14-7. Tyrod Taylor, 279 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Saquon Barkley, 77 rushing yards, a receiving touchdown, and a fumble. Darren Waller, 7 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown. As for Sam Howell, the Commanders, 249 passing, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Brian Robinson had a rushing touchdown, and Terry McLaurin, 6 catches for 90 yards. So the Giants moved to 2-5 after snapping a 4-game losing streak against their divisional rival. The Giants really needed this win for their confidence. Their offense, 385 total yards. The run game had 106 yards. Tyrod Taylor played good football once again, filling in for the injured Daniel Jones. Darren Waller finally showed up for once. And the Giants defense, 6 sacks, 1 pick, allowed just 7 points. Commanders' offense was awful, 325 yards, only ran for 76 yards, 7 points, 1 for 15 on third down. They had chances with a Barkley fumble and a Sterling Shepard muff punt, but they couldn't capitalize off of it. Their defense had 4 sacks, 1 fumble, allowed 14 points, but couldn't stop the run, and they are now 3-4. Next, the Ravens beat the Lions 38-6. Lamar Jackson, 357 passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He also had a rushing touchdown and a fumble. Gus Edwards had 64 rushing yards and a touchdown, and Mark Andrews with two touchdown catches. Jared Goff for the Lions, 284 passing, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 13 catches for 102. And the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, 68 rushing yards and a touchdown. He also had 9 catches for 58 yards. So the Ravens dominate a solid team by 32 points and advance to 5-2. The game was 35-0 after the third quarter. The Ravens offense, 503 total yards, ran for $146, and Lamar balled out, 393 total yards, plus four total touchdowns. He had some crazy throws, too, where he was escaping the pocket, where he could have been sacked multiple times, and he'd spin out and make either a first down play or a touchdown. It just absolutely played insane. And the Ravens made a statement with this game, you know. Their defense had 5 sacks, a pick, and allowed just 6 points to shut down a lethal Lions offense. And speaking of the Lions, they just had a terrible game, 368 yards of offense. They ran for 84 yards, 5 of 16 on third down, 2 of 6 on fourth down. Only scored 6 points. The defense had a fumble, but no sacks, no interceptions. They gave up 38 points. They got cooked for over 500 yards and couldn't stop Lamar Jackson. And it seems like whenever the Lions face a good defense, they fold. Lions are now 5-2. Next, the Patriots beat the Bills 29-25. Mac Jones, 272 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Zeke Elliott has a rushing touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 6 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. And Mike Gesicki, the tight end, game-winning touchdown catch. As for Josh Allen of the Bills, 265 passing, 2 touchdowns, a pick, a rushing touchdown, and a fumble. And Stephon Diggs and James Cook had a receiving touchdown each. So the Pats pull off a big upset against their divisional rival to go 2-5 in epic fashion. The Pats led 13-3 at halftime after running the ball and capitalizing off Bills' mistakes. The third quarter starts off with the Bills moving downfield for a touchdown, but the Pats respond with a field goal to jump up 16-10. The Bills would convert a couple 3rd and longs and a 4th and 1 to march down the field. And as the fourth quarter starts, the Pats still lead 16-10, but the Bills are on the move. The Bills, however, fell a 4th and 2 at the Patriots' 33-yard line. The Patriots capitalized with a touchdown after a 2-point conversion didn't work. They would lead 22-10 with 7.5 minutes to go. The Bills answer with a touchdown of their own. They find themselves down 22-17 with 5 minutes to go. And then the next offensive possession for the Patriots, the wide receiver Kendrick Bourne fumbles the ball. And because of that, the Bills would score and get a 2-point conversion and lead 25-22 with just 1:50 left. The Patriots are able to march downfield, however, and Mac Jones hits Mike Gesicki for the game-winning touchdown with just 13 seconds to go. Bills get one more crack at it, but this time Allen fumbles the ball, and that's the ball game. The Patriots had 368 total yards of offense, ran for 96 yards. Mac Jones played his best game of the season with no turnovers and the game-winning drive. The Patriots defense, a sack, a fumble, an interception, and constant pressure on Josh Allen. And the Patriots desperately needed that win. As for the Bills, 346 yards of offense. They struggled running with just 81 yards. 2 turnovers by Josh Allen. They dropped 22 points in the second half, but it wasn't enough. The defense had a fumble, no sacks, no interceptions. They allowed 29 points and just absent on that late drive that led to the game winner. Must hurt knowing that Josh Allen loses with 13 seconds left in the game once again. Bills go to 4-3. Next game, Seahawks beat the Cardinals 20-10. Geno Smith, 219 passing, 2 touchdowns, interception, and a fumble. Kenneth Walker, 105 rushing yards. The rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba had a touchdown catch, and the rookie Jake Bobo had a touchdown catch. As for Josh Dobbs of the Cardinals, 146 passing, no touchdowns, no picks, and a rushing score. Hollywood Brown, 3 catches for 49 yards. So the Hawks beat their divisional rival. They go to 4-2. The offense, 334 total yards, ran for 115, went 7 of 13 on third down, so over 50%. The defense, 4 sacks, allowed less than 280 yards and just 10 points. The Cardinals offense, 277 total yards. They ran well for 127, but couldn't pass the ball. A lot of missed opportunities. They had a missed field goal and 0 for 3 on fourth down. The defense had 2 sacks, 1 pick, 1 fumble, but couldn't cash in from. But the offense couldn't cash in from the defense making plays. The Cardinals have lost 4 straight games, and they dropped to 1-6. Next, the Steelers beat the Rams 24-17. Kenny Pickett, 230 passing, no touchdowns, no picks, and a rushing score. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren each had a rushing touchdown, and George Pickens 5 catches for 107. So Matt Stafford, 231 yards passing, a touchdown, a pick. Puka Nacua, the rookie, had 8 catches for 154, and Darrell Henderson, 61 rushing yards and a touchdown. So the Steelers outscored the Rams 14-0 in the fourth quarter to get a win and move to 4-2. The Steelers are starting off on the right track after a bye week. Their offense kept it simple, 316 yards. They didn't turn the ball over, which is big. The run game had just 86 yards, but they had 3 total touchdowns. And the defense made noise again. 2 sacks and a TJ Watt interception that led to a touchdown just to open the second half. And is DJ Watt the defensive player of the year? He is a machine at sacking the quarterback, but now he's getting interceptions too. And Pittsburgh fans made so much noise in SoFi Stadium that you'd think it was a home game for them. The Rams offense, 366 yards total. They ran for 135. They were 9-13 on third down, but the Stafford interception to open the third quarter swung momentum, in my opinion. Cooper Kupp was locked down all afternoon, and Brett Maher, 1 for 3 on field goals, missed an extra point, left 7 points off the board. And I noticed a couple times this season that the Rams offense always vanishes in the second half. The defense had 2 sacks but couldn't turn the ball over. The Rams dropped to 3-4. Next, the Chiefs beat the Chargers 31-17. Pat Mahomes 424 passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Travis Kelce 12 catches, 179 and a score. Marquez Valdes-Scantling with a touchdown catch, Isaiah Pacheco with a touchdown catch, and the rookie Rashee Rice with a touchdown catch. As for Justin Herbert, 259 passing, a touchdown, 2 picks. Josh Palmer, 5 catches for 133. Josh Kelly, 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. So the Chiefs advanced to 6-1 after beating their divisional rival. They extend their win streak to 5 games. The offense had 492 total yards. They struggled to run the ball with just 68 yards, but who needs a run game when you have Patrick Mahomes slinging it the way he does? Travis Kelce was unstoppable. His boo Taylor Swift was in attendance. And the defense, 5 sacks with 2 picks. And as for the Chargers, they were in this game until 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The offense had 398 total yards, 134 rushing yards, but scored no points in the second half. Herbert with 2 crucial picks in that second half, with 1 occurring in the end zone. The defense had a sack, an interception, a fumble, and they stopped the run game, but they couldn't stop Mahomes and Kelce. They gave up 31 points and almost 500 yards. The Chargers had chances to win this game, but they did what the Chargers do best, and they can't respond. They didn't capitalize off those chances, and they're now 2-4. The Broncos beat the Packers 19-17. Russell Wilson, 194 passing, a touchdown, no picks. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. As for Jordan Love of the Packers, 180 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Romeo Doubs with a touchdown catch, and Jaden Reed, the rookie, with a touchdown catch as well. So the Broncos win a close one to go 2-5. Their kicker, Will Lutz, hit the go-ahead field goal from 52 yards that gave the Broncos the 19-17 lead with 4 minutes left to play. The Denver offense, 339 total yards, no turnovers. The run game had 145 yards. The defense had no sacks, but they got the game-winning interception. And as for Green Bay, 331 total yards with 137 rushing yards. They almost came back from a 16-3 deficit as they took a 17-16 lead with 8 minutes left after converting a couple fourth downs. But the Jordan Love interception with 1:40 left in the game was the nail in the coffin. The defense had a sack but no turnovers, and Green Bay comes back from their bye week with an L, and they go to 2-4. The next game, the Eagles beat the Dolphins 31-17. Jalen Hurts, 279 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a rushing touchdown, and a fumble. A.J. Brown, 10 catches, 137 and a touchdown. Tight end Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. As for Tua Tagovailoa, 216 passing, a touchdown and a pick. Tyreek Hill, 11 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown. So the Eagles moved to 6-1. Their offense, 379 yards, 99 rushing yards, 4 for 4 on fourth down. All of them were tush pushes or brotherly shoves or whatever you call them. The defense had 4 sacks, 1 pick, held an explosive offense to under 265 yards. And Sirianni has balls of steel, going for it on 4th and 1 on his own 27-yard line with a 24-17 lead with 10 minutes to go. He'd call the same play again, this time on his own 37-yard line, as it converts again. He converts another 4th and 1, this time with 8 minutes to go. And those 2 fourth down conversions milked 7 minutes off the clock and led to a touchdown that put the Eagles up 31-17 with 4 minutes to go. That essentially sealed the game. The Dolphins offense, 261 total yards, but they couldn't run the ball, just 45 yards. The Dolphins defense, 3 sacks, a fumble, a pick 6, but they were unable to stop that 4th down play. After trailing 17-3, they tied it 17-17 after Tyreek Hill gets a touchdown and after the defense gets a pick 6. But even after the pick 6, the Eagles respond by marching down the field on their next drive and get a touchdown to lead 24-17. The Dolphins had another chance to tie it early in the 4th quarter, but Tua Tagovailoa was picked. That interception led to a long Eagles drive for a touchdown. And the penalties, let's not mention the penalties. 10 penalties for Miami led to 70 yards, and Philly with no penalties. A little suspicious, but either way, you can't be having those penalties regardless whether if some were good, some of them weren't. So the Finns now drop to 5-2. The final game, the Monday night game, the Vikings beat the Niners 22-17. Kirk Cousins, 378 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The rookie Jordan Addison, 7 catches for $123 and 2 scores. And tight end TJ Hockenson, 11 catches for 86 yards. Brock Purdy of the Niners, 272 passing, a touchdown, 2 picks. Christian McCaffrey, a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a fumble. So the Vikings moved to 3-4 with a huge upset on Monday Night Football. The offense, 452 total yards, 8 for 13 on third down, and the run game, only 74 yards, but the pass game went crazy. The defense had a sack, a fumble, and 2 picks. And the Vikings, they had their suspenseful moments. In the third quarter, their lead of 19-17 diminished to 19-14. And with 1:15 left, the kicker, Greg Joseph, misses a 50-yard field goal, gave the ball back to the Niners. But luckily, the Niners had no timeouts as they started to move the ball. But with 30 seconds left, the Vikings safety, Cam Bynum, seals the game with his second interception. And Justin Jefferson, because the rookie receiver, Jordan Addison, had himself a game. He had a huge touchdown catch with seconds left before the first half ended, where the Niners DB had the pick in his hand, but Addison outmuscled him, took it away, and ran it in for a touchdown. Just a fantastic play. And he's been balling out since Justin Jefferson's been injured. He has 6 touchdowns so far this season, and just a very solid win for the Vikings all around. They needed this confidence boost big time. As for the Niners, 337 passing yards, or 337 total yards. The run game was non-existent with 65 yards. They had their chances to take the lead, but Purdy was picked 2 times in the final 6 minutes. The defense had an interception, but they had no sacks. They got gashed for over 400 yards. They couldn't stop the pass. They couldn't stop third down, and they got no pressure on Kirk Cousins. The Niners are now 5-2. So that's it for my Week 7 recap. Let me know what you guys think was your favorite game, your least favorite game. Give me some feedback. I always appreciate it. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram. Take care. Have a wonderful day.